We're going to be asked to write equations for lines given different information. If we're asked to equation of a line that has a slope of -3 and a y-intercept of 10, we are simply going to follow y equals mx plus b and put the slope in for m and the 10 in for the y-intercept. And we're finished. We might be given different information, though, for different examples. So we might also be asked to write the equation of a line that has a slope of 2 and contains the point 5,7. So we've got two options when we are given a point and a slope. We could use y equals mx plus b and plug in the information that we're given. We are not given the y-intercept. So I'm going to use my ordered pair that I was given. I'm going to put a 5 in for x. I'm going to put the 2 in for slope. And I'm going to put a 7 in for y. Y equals mx. So 7 equals 2 times 5 plus the y-intercept. So we substitute for the values that we know, and now we can simplify this and determine what the y-intercept is. And then we can go ahead and write the equation of the line. Y equals 2x minus 3. The equation that has a slope of 2 and contains the point 5,7. Now, another option that we have when given a point and a slope, we can use an equation that's different from slope-intercept. It's called the point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. This is called point-slope form because if you're given a point, x1, y1, and you're given the slope, you can just plug that information into the appropriate places and you will be able to find and simplify it to the slope-intercept form. So y minus y1. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 7 because that's the y coordinate. I'm going to write a 2 because that's the slope. And then I'm going to put x minus x1. So what is the x coordinate that we were given? 5. So this is an equation of the line with a slope of 2 and contains the point 5,7 written in point-slope form. What we can do is distribute the 2 and we can get the y value alone by adding 7 to both sides. And this gives us the equation in slope-intercept form. I'm going to do another example. I'm going to, again, write an equation for a line given a point and a slope. I'm going to find the equation of the line using two different methods. So if I want to use slope-intercept form, I have a point and the slope, so I need the y-intercept. So I'm going to plug in the y value, the slope, the x value, and then I'm going to write plus b. And I need to solve this equation for b. 0 equals 4 plus b, subtract 4, so -4 equals b. That's the y-intercept. So I can write the equation now. Y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Another way I could solve it is I could substitute the information that I know into our point-slope form. Y minus y equals m times x minus 8. I'm going to, well, y minus 0 is just y, and now I'm going to distribute a half. So either way, if you're given a point and a slope, you can write an equation for that line. You might also have a situation where you're asked to write the equation of a line that contains 2 points. So you're not given the slope and you're not given the y-intercept. So you need to determine what those are. So the first thing I suggest is always finding the slope between these 2 points. 12 minus negative 2 is the change in y, and 5 minus 1 is the change in x values. So the slope is 14 over 4. And I'm going to simplify that by dividing both numerator and denominator by 2 to get 7 halves. So there's our slope. Now to find the y-intercept, I could just use slope-intercept form, plug in the 3 things that I know. So like y, oops, okay, I can choose either point, y for x, y. So I'm going to pick this one. The numbers are a little bit smaller. Negative 2 equals 7 halves times 1 plus b. Negative 2 equals 7 halves. Well, that's the same as 3.5 plus b. And if I subtract 3.5 from both sides, I find out that the y-intercept is negative 5.5. If I convert that back to a fraction, negative 11 over 2. So my equation for the line that contains these 2 points is y equals 7 halves x minus 11 halves. Let's write an equation for a line that contains the points negative 3, 4, and 1, negative 4. First thing I'm going to do is find out what the slope is between these 2 points. Negative 4 minus 4, 1 minus negative 3. So the change in y values is negative 8, and the change in x values is 4. So the slope is actually negative 2. Now for this example, I'm going to use point-slope form. I'm going to plug in one of the points and the slope, and then I'm going to be able to find an equation for this line. Y minus 4 equals negative 2 times x minus negative 3. Simplify this by saying y minus 4 minus a negative. Let's see, that's plus. So we would distribute the negative 2. And then if I add 4 to both sides, I find my slope-intercept form of the line.